Vice Mayor Mike Profit.
Here.
Alderman Jeff Fancher.
Here.
Alderman Mike Hansel. Alderman Bobby Knight.
Here.
Alderman Steve Smith.
Here.
City Attorney Terry Hurst.
Here.
City Administrator James Fincham.
Here.
I'd like to make a comment about Mike Hansel. He had to work tonight. Two of the people that was supposed to cover his shift, he just absolutely had to work, so he's never missed a meeting, and I told him I'd let you all know that. I think y'all know it already, but he hates to miss just like any of the rest of us. So anyway, just letting you know where he was at.
They're short-handed at work, right?
They were short-handed, 2 people. Okay, and you ready about the approval of the minutes?
I need a motion to approve.
Okay, I need a motion to approval of the minutes for the last meeting.
Mr. Vice Mayor, I will make a motion to approve the minutes as written.
I second.
We got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Okay, proclamations and recommendations of citizens. Okay, I've got one recognition of, and James I think will do the one from the fire department. We sort of look around in our city and look for people that's trying to make a difference, trying to clean things up, trying to make things better. And so this time I sort of looked at Fruit Jar Alley the other day, and the other night they had bands down there, had really decorated, had lights out there, and they really done wonders with that building. And I just wanted to tell them, while we've got Eric and Allison here, how much we appreciate you showing the effort downtown to get things back in order. We're trying to get things downtown and really appreciate y'all. So the rest of you aldermen, if you would come up, and I'd like for you to get a picture of us and present you with this little thing.
Right here.
You mean you don't get out of the sun?
You're good.
It's the brightest we've ever been.
That's
Good.
Thank y'all very much.
Thank y'all.
Thank y'all. We appreciate everything the city's done, especially Ben Hicks back there. If that had been for Ben, I couldn't get anything done.
Still have a lot of trash.
We'll get you. Okay, Mr. Finchman, I think you're going to take about
Mr. Hansel asked that this be put on the agenda to recognize our fire department for Firefighter Appreciation Month, and since he couldn't be here, I just want to say a few words about how proud we are of our fire department. We know that nationwide there's a lot of respect for firemen for the job they do, and I feel that we've got a well-trained and very dedicated department that is prepared to handle anything that comes our way, and this is very experienced and very professional, and take a lot of pride in their work and do a good job. And we hope that folks appreciate them for what they do out in the community. I think they do. I think that anytime that there's any kind of an event or a ceremony or something, I think there's an outpouring of support for the firemen, for all the public safety workers, and certainly we appreciate the job they do. We're proud of them, and we'd like to make sure that they are recognized in the Fire Appreciation.
I'd like to second that too. In other towns, we hear reports from other people, and I've yet to hear anything negative about our fire department here. You know, you all know how it's run, you know what it's done. Just like the thing he said about you, keep up the good work, okay? Any other boys got anything?
I just appreciate them. I've had a couple of things happen at the house, and they were right there, and they, like you said, they did a professional job. They put me to bed not worrying about my house burning down, and I appreciate them for everything.
I want to let them know I appreciate them, because I know how hard they work and how hard they train. Let them know I'm proud of it and appreciate it.
How would you know that, Bob?
He's heard the older boys talk about it.
I'm in the same boat. I'll be very brief. I just, you find out that people don't really care until they find out how much you care. And talking to these guys in the last while, and sitting here on this city council and talking to them off the court, if you will, they care. And starting at the top with the chief and down to Mark, on down to the last person, you guys are spot on. Same thing with Maury's team, yours as well, Ben. We go on down the pecking order, but it seems like the guys really care, and today we're focused on the fire department, and I say appreciate you guys, what you do.
Appreciate y'all.
Very much.
All right, communicates with the city administrator.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. The only thing I have, we're getting into the time of year in the fall when their leaves start to fall. It's time to trim their trees and try to get their yards looking good for the winter. And of course, we're there to support and help that in any way we can. Just want to make sure that the record's straight on a few things. First of all, if you have leaves, brush, or whatever, if you get that to the curbside, we will pick that up for you. A lot of cities, there's a service charge for that. Here, we do not. We are full service here. We have no fees or charges. It's all included in their property tax that we provide that service. And anything that we can legally do to assist, we will. One thing I want to be very clear, and I don't know, I don't want to get into the past or what may or may not have been done under prior administrations or whatever, but we will not do anything illegal. That has been something that I have been a stickler about ever since I've been down here. And to me, it's common sense, but it also comes from having a background in law enforcement and enforcing the law. We're just not, one thing, we are not going to do anything that's not legal for us to do. Now, that doesn't mean we don't want to help people. And we constantly get asked by people to do things that we legally cannot do. I wish we could do more. We cannot, for example, go on to anyone's property and do anything. We cannot go on private property unless it serves some purpose for us, such as storm drainage or something. Like Mr. Smith knows, we have a big storm ditch goes right through by his house up there, and so we have to maintain those. But as far as coming on and helping remove a tree, removing a rock, removing debris, anything like that, we just simply cannot legally do. And we get those kind of requests all the time, and folks come to me and ask me, well, will you authorize them to come to my house and do this? And my answer is always the same. My answer is always no, and it will always be no, and that is not any kind of personal affront to anybody. I have people that get mad at me because they feel like that I won't help them out, and maybe I help somebody else out but not them, and I can assure everybody, if I do something for one, I'll do it for another. And I don't do that. I do not authorize any of our people going on to any property and doing anything they're not supposed to do, and I will not. And so, if people want to come and keep asking us to do that, and they get mad because we say no, then they just have to get mad. I hate that. I don't want to make people mad. I want to accommodate people. But, this time of year is a really bad time for it. And I just wanted to try to get the record out there a little bit and try to get ahead of it a little bit, because I go through this every year. And the answer is going to be no. And it's nothing personal. That's just the way it is. That's the rule. It's the rule of law. The state of Tennessee doesn't allow you to do it. If somebody videotapes you on property doing what you're not supposed to do and sends it into the state, then I'm in trouble. And you guys are in trouble. And I'm covering me and you. And that's just the way it's going to be. And so I just wanted to take this opportunity to throw that out there, because, it starts up, like I say, every time. This time of year is the worst time for it. And I already had one person get mad over it. And so, maybe this will help keep it from happening. I don't know. But if there's any way we can help anybody, we will. But that is one thing we do not do and we will not do. And I just hope when I tell people we won't do it, they always think that, well, you do it for some, but you won't do it for me. Well, that's just not true. We don't do it for anybody. And so I just want to take the opportunity to throw that out there, like I say, to maybe try to fend that off a little bit more this year, because it's already started and already had somebody get mad about it. But that's all I got.
Is that all you got?
James, I got to ask you a question about a couple things.
Yes, sir.
I was looking at the reports that Mr. Mark Robson put out, 7 pages of them. Are most of his things that he does, especially, are they citizen originated, or is this part of his daily driving through the neighborhoods?
It's both. Of course, obviously, we respond to any complaint that we get, but also, his directive is that each day he's to be out at least part of the day, looking through the neighborhoods, following up on places he checked on before, making sure they had complied, just keeping his eye open for new problems that need to be dealt with. Certainly anything that we get a complaint on, we put a priority on, because that's bothering somebody, it's bothering the neighborhood or something, but it's both. We respond to complaints, and then of course I'm out every day and I keep my eye open for things to pass on to him. And then again, I've told him and he's been doing it, but I told him a long time ago I want him out every day, at least for a little while in the field, taking a look around town. Well,
These 7 pages are reflected. He's out doing some business, and it's just a huge workload there. And Lisa, I wanted to say, looking over these numbers, and I appreciate you guys putting these numbers together. The animal shelter, which according to the folks that I went up against last year, said there probably 400 or 500 animals over there right now. I saw there's a net of 38. And I saw that the way they were adopted out and rescued is exactly what I and we ask you to do. Just want to tell you I appreciate that as well. As far as the fire goes, you all still have the program where folks can get smoke detectors, and is it carbon monoxide detectors as well? Is that available, Mark?
No, we don't offer carbon monoxide detectors. We do have smoke detectors available for citizens in the city that need them. Now, concerning rental property, it's actually up to the landlords to see that they're installed. If they're not, and someone is in need of one, we're not going to neglect to give them one just because the landlord doesn't. And I'd like to remind people, this is Fire Prevention Month. Smoke detector batteries to be changed as the time does. And anyone that's has a physical disability, or an elderly gentleman or lady, we'll be glad to come out and check your smoke detectors for you. If you need batteries in them, we'll put them in them. Just give us a call at the fire department. We'll get someone out there. Don't mind at all to do it. There's 2 or 3 behind you making faces when you said that. That's their happy. That's happy face. We don't want everybody in the city and every able-bodied person, right, just because they can. But the people that there's a need for, we're certainly glad to do that. And if we have smoke detectors, we don't always have them. But if we do, we'll be glad to come and install them, put them up for them. Rental property or no, you don't want someone to lose their life over $7 or $8 smoke detector. So, yeah, give us a holler. We'll be glad to help.
Mark, I wanted to tell you, thanks for the other Mark, the real Mark. Mark Robinson. I'm telling you, I appreciate what I was like, Mr. Fancher, I read through all the reports and stuff, and the only thing that I've ever come across, you can't make people have pride in this town. Some people's not going to have it, not got it, not going to have it. Appreciate the job you do. Appreciate the job you do too, Mark Ramsey.
My last comment was about the execution and organization of the street festival this weekend. It was just hot, as Lynn Ramsey said, the hottest one I'm sure in the years of its existence. But great crowds on Saturday, crowds on Sunday, but not as much as Saturday. But hats off to those folks. 125 vendors. I heard maybe that number, so I thought it went really well, really well. So people need to be congratulated for that.
Okay, we need a motion and then for the appointment back to the Parks and Recreation Board. We need a vote on that. It's Billy Boo, he's going to just
I
read.
think that was just done by the mayor, but he always has everybody vote on them.
Okay. All in favor of Bill Boo to the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board?
Yes.
Say yes.
Yes.
Yes, have it. He's back on there. Okay, next thing we're on is the Tanner Preservation Alliance. Where's Carlene? I saw her somewhere.
Gary? I think he's still down at the finance committee meeting.
He's still being it right now.
Okay, I really don't have any more information. Gary is spearheading most of that, and last I heard was we were last month, I believe in the motion to release the current architect.
It's on there. We've got it back on there to hire the other one tonight, yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, that was the last information I had. So at this point, we still have people actively contributing to the effort, but and we have just got a proposal from someone, professional actor, a few days ago who wants to do has a project he's interested in doing and donating those funds to the project also. So, but other than that, I don't really have anything to add until we get the new architect in place. I don't know how quickly we're going to be able to get anything done. I have to talk to Gary about that. James may have some more information about it.
No, not really.
Thank you.
Throwing it all back to Gary right now.
That's right.
Thank you, Mr. Dowd. Okay, keep Cobb County beautiful. Mecca, you got something?
I'll try to be really quick. I just recently attended a Keep Tennessee Beautiful conference, and at that conference, our executive director had just gotten her hands on a draft bill that's for a Beverage Container and Community Recycling Act. I'm going to give you all a copy of it and just let you all know kind of in a nutshell what it's about.
Good, Ray.
Thank you.
She had asked that we come back and let all of our aldermen and commissioners know what this bill is, because it will be coming up for a vote sometime soon. Don't really know when. This is still in the draft stages. But this act encourages citizens to recycle. They're going to get like a 5-cent deposit back from the bottles and stuff that they recycle. And that sounds like a good thing. That's encouraging people to recycle. And they're hoping that it will decrease the amount of litter on the road. Of course, it's only going to be targeting a specific type of litter, bottles being one. And the other thing is that Keep Tennessee Beautiful is not going to take a stance either way. They're just kind of laying all the information out there. So it is encouraging recycling. It should decrease littering. But on the flip side of that also, the taxes on beverages is how our TDOT litter grant is funded. So that might be impacted. So we're just wanting to let you all know so that you're informed about it when that decision comes to be made. And like I said, there was, not taking any sides or anything, just letting you know both sides of it, but there's some good and maybe some that might not be as good. And I was going to let you all know about our Recycling Day event that we've got coming up November 3rd. Taking electronics that day. We're going to take eyeglasses and hearing aids that's going to be donated to the Lions Club. And we're going to take worn out clothes and blankets and towels and give those to the animal shelter. So trying to get the word out about that. That'll be November 3rd from 9 to 1 at Lowe's. So thank you all.
Thank you for the job you did, Mika. Okay, we need that on the new business turn. Okay, you take care of it. You got it.
That's Mr. Vice Mayor. The first item on new business would be the first reading of the ordinance on the fireworks. And I will read the caption of that ordinance into the record. It's ordinance number 2018-16, an ordinance to amending the City of Newport Municipal Code, Title 11, Municipal Offenses, Chapter 3, Offenses Against the Peace and Quiet, adding Section 304, Fireworks Regulations.
I have a discussion about that very quickly to the chief. I'm going to lay my choice on your shoulders. Is this something what's it going to do to your staff on Halloween night and whatever, New Year's and stuff like that? I know you're all taxed enough, and I wanted as well. I mean, it was like the 4th of July, 2 or 3 nights this year here recently, but what say you about this ordinance?
Just like most anything, once it becomes an ordinance, you'll have a lot of people who are be compliant and automatically not violate the ordinance. And those who choose to, we will approach them and issue them a citation. It's that simple. I mean, I hate to simplify something that much change in our ordinance, but I have a lot of confidence in the citizens of Newport, and I believe when they see that it is an ordinance that they will be compliant, and those that don't will be having enforcement.
There's a lot of people wanting it, get something
A
done.
lot of people. I make a motion to accept this ordinance, Mr. Vice Mayor.
Roll call, Ms. Tina.
Alderman Jeff Fancher.
Yes, ma'am.
Alderman Bobby Knight.
Yes.
Alderman Steve Smith.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mike Profit.
Yes. Okay, ready for the next one?
Yes, Mr. Vice Mayor, the next item on the agenda is the resolution that we talked about earlier about the architect. It is Resolution 2018-16, a resolution authorizing the City of Newport to release Elizabeth Easton Architectural Firm and to hire Michael Brady Incorporated for architectural engineering for the Tanner Building project.
That's what you're just talking about. Yes, sir.
Need a motion for that? Make a motion to.
James,
Mr.
with
Brady.
Gary's absence, do you have anything to add to that, or is it just kind of cut and
No,
dry?
sir, it was just, when we looked at hiring the other firm, they didn't want to work with Brady and the company's drawings. They wanted to redraw everything, and that was just too much expense. They'd already paid for that to be done. We weren't happy with the folks that were on the project originally with Brady, and of course, now some of those folks are gone, and then some of them are not going to be involved in this project, so we feel good about working with them again. We've had good experience with Brady and Associates in the past. It just, for whatever reason, there just kept being miscommunication on this project with the project manager, and so we just decided to not move forward with them from that point. But now that we feel like those differences have been resolved, and we feel comfortable moving forward with them, and it's going, instead of trying to start from scratch and redo stuff that doesn't need to be redone.
Do I hear a motion?
Steve had one, I think.
Make a motion to hire Mr. Brady. Yes.
Second.
Second. Got a motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All ayes have it, Tina.
Yes, Mr. Vice Mayor, the next consideration of a new position for a part-time general laborer for Parks and Rec.
Yes, sir. We would like to request a part-time employee to work on Monday and Tuesday evenings at the Newport City Park. So I'm going to be waiting for questions.
Well, that's 8 hours.
We proposed a 16 hours, 8 hours for Monday, and on Tuesday the same. Looking at $10.30 an hour is the general labor starter rate of pay. No benefit package, but just 16 hours at $10.30 an hour.
We know the need you have for that, especially on the weekends and stuff. Hey, you've not got enough people to go around, so I don't think I have any problem with it. I hear a motion, we do it.
Make a motion
We got a motion,
to do that.
got a second, Mr. Fancher. Mr. Fancher seconds it.
Hold on, yeah, it's a second.
He's hungry. He's hungry.
Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Ayes got it.
Thank you, council.
And I think Mr. Dockery has the second item there. It's consideration of request from parks.
We put together a schedule of what time our mini parks and our city parks open and close. Right now, our city park is open till 11 o'clock at night, which gets us out of there around 11:30. With the schedule that we have with our basketball courts and community neighborhoods and playgrounds, we've proposed that they be closed at 10 o'clock. And we'd like to be uniformed and try to close that city park at 10 o'clock at night. That last hour during the fall is when you really start seeing the numbers as it gets darker early. The foot traffic is less, and of course our community center closes at 9, which gets them out of there at 9:30. We're still going to be there until 10:30, but we're going to be closing our city park at 10, so it's on the same schedule as our community playgrounds, our basketball courts, and also Bryant-Town facilities.
We know how much money it's costing to keep those lights on the extra hour for just like one person or two people on the tennis court, so you're going to be saving some money, and it's not worth it to have one or two people.
When you look at the breakdown of the utilities, it costs you just $100 to turn them on, just as soon as you flip that switch, one cord. So it does cost a lot of money. And of course, the thing about it is, if we have a scheduled event, such as Halloween Trick or Treat, which is October the 31st this year on a Wednesday, you know, our staff will be there and we will manage the time and get it out there at an appropriate time, which will be around 10:30, 11 o'clock. But we break down. The same way with a baseball game, there was a question about Little League football. Do they play later than that? Most of the time, our scheduled events are out of there by 9:30. And if there's extra innings, you know, we for baseball, hopefully there won't be any extra innings this year. Well, there'll be extra innings, but not more time spent on the fields with lights, because we're going to try to do better in our scheduling so that these little people are not on those ball fields over there. Like Terry Hurst has suggested many times, that these kids got to get up the next morning and go to school, and that 5th and 6th grade is pretty tough at Newport Grammar School. And some of these other schools also.
Kids don't need to be over there after 10 or 11 o'clock.
Playing ball. That's exactly right.
Do we need a motion for that?
I think we have a question.
Go ahead. It's something unrelated. Go ahead.
I mean, I didn't know if you need a motion for it, or is that just something?
It's something that you guys will have to create for us to be able to hire a part-time employee for our department at 16 hours a week
I
for
make a
52
motion we
weeks.
do that.
I second.
We got
Thank
a
you.
motion second.
No, we've already voted on the employee.
Yeah.
Oh, the time. You got me backed up now. This was the closing of the city part, yes.
I make a motion to accept the time change.
Thank you.
I'll second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Ayes got it.
Tim, I was going to ask you, I was over in Greenville the day before yesterday with your buddy, comrade Butch Patterson.
You know Butch?
Over at the splash pad. Are you still a proponent of building a splash pad over at City Park, maybe?
What a time for the train, eh? Yeah.
Just a lot of people talk about a splash pad. Some people want it in town, some people want it over at City Park. Is it feasible to build a splash pad?
Here is what we know. Through your help, we did a master plan for Parks and Recreation. And in that master plan, it identified all of our park facilities and the way that residents use our facilities. The splash pad came in as a priority, and it was suggested that we look at tying it in with the Newport City Park pool. A minimum splash pad is going to run you around $500,000. One of the things that we would need to do is to see if the filtration system that we have, which we're putting in a new filtration system, and hopefully it would carry what needs to happen with a splash pad. But at a minimum, now at 500,000. Now you can go to the World's Fair side and see this kind that just pop up, blow little holes of water about this high. You know, you probably get around $250,000. But to have a true functional splash pad, it would be ideal to have it tied into the city park pool so that we could manage it, guard it, patrol it, and protect the little people that use that facility.
We better get a water hose and a sprinkler, what I believe we tell some fire.
As a component to splash pads, you know, it is a trend. It's just like 20 years or 15 years ago when we put in our skate park facility. There is some benefits to a splash pad, such as the guard situation. You know, you don't have to have certified lifeguards. You just need patrollers, but you still got to have your city park pool, because our revenues that we're producing there is good. It's great for teenagers. It's a very popular place for the teenagers in the community. It keeps them off of the waterfronts, the open waterfronts, and I don't think that we had any drownings in our open waters in Cott County this year. Most of them were out of county, and so that tells me that a lot of our young people are not going to the open lakefronts and rivers, that they are coming to our city park pool for use of it. So it has its benefits to it. Thank you.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tim.
Because the next thing on the agenda is consideration of hiring a full-time firefighter for the open position. Mr. Ramsey, you'd like to say anything about that? I know you've got a board, got it in mind, and let's get it done.
What we would like to do is now this is not, I mean, it's a new hire, so to say, but it's a replacement hire. Tim Pack will be retiring in January, and rookie school, we send our guys to rookie school. It's a 14-week class, and it'll either start in February or early March. Is that right, Mike? Yeah. And there's prerequisites that we have to get done for them before they can be enrolled in rookie school. They have to get course measured and fitted for turnout gear. They have to have fit tests, pulmonary lung test, CPR, things such as that before they can even enter rookie school. So, you know, if we could hire a new firefighter now, have him up to those things that are needed, get those prerequisites done, then we can put him in rookie school in February or early March.
Let's get it done.
What's Tim's retirement date?
Tim will be retiring in January. Mr. French, I think he can actually work till the end of January. You have to retire the month your birthday is, but you can work to the end. I think that's right, isn't it, Tina? So he will be gone by the end of January. So
would you introduce the young man that we're getting ready to hire?
yeah, this young man here, Stephen Nall, he is on our list, and I think that the Civil Service Board has recommended him. He's the only one left on our current list, and if Mr. Fincham don't find or see any reason to disqualify him, why, we'd certainly love to have him.
We need to make a
I heard a
motion.
lot of things about Mr. Knoll, so I'll make that motion. Coach
Mr. Fincher's made the motion.
Second.
Mr. Knight's, Alderman Knight's made the second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Ayes have it. Congratulations.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, gentlemen, very much. Appreciate it very much.
Mr. Ramsey.
Thank you, Mark.
The second mark.
That's good.
Bids and purchase expenses, you got anything there, Mr.? Okay. Comments from citizens, I think we've got a couple here who'd like to speak. Mr. Fred Myers, 5 minutes.
On the negative side. I have opened a business at the old wood products facility, a recycling business, to try to help clean up the town and everything. And a lot of things I found after I purchased the property is that I'd like to ask the Board of Aldermen to consider de-annexing the wood products side because of the little string, little fingertip that's there. need to look at it, consider it. Many years ago, I don't know if anybody can ever find out the records. It was annexed into the city. No sewer was ever run up there. So there's no sewer in that facility. The city, the county, and the state run the runoff water from Castle Heights area, Irish Cut, everything through the culverts under the property that I own, right down to the river. So I really feel that it would be more worthy for the city to de-annex that one little strip there, all the way down to the bridge where it used to be. The right side of the road is not in the city. The left side on the railroad is not in the city. Just that little slim property line down through there. And again, I'm just asking for consideration. I would like to see it de-annexed and leave it up to you guys. See what you can do.
Thank you, Mr. Myers.
Thank you.
Thank you a lot.
Thanks for bringing life to that building, Mr. Myers.
Yes, sir.
When do we get done?
I know.
It's gonna be beautiful.
I've heard you say all about it. It's
You
good.
can go ahead and introduce yourself and tell them what you're doing.
My name is Lars Johansson. I live over in Del Rio. I just had two things I wanted to bring up. One is I wanted to try to get the fluoride removed out of the city's water system. Since the 1940s, it's been going in there. You're not supposed to drink it and ingest it. It's only supposed to be put on your teeth. The American Academy of Pediatrics says that infants are not supposed to drink city water if it has not been filtered. So a lot of tests have been done. If you guys have any questions, I got a lot of paperwork I could bring to you guys. And the second thing I want to bring up is smoking in the Newport City Park, Ferretsville Park. I got 3 little girls. I have to deal with people smoking around them constantly, all the time. And I'm over it. I get in confrontations all the time telling people I don't care if you smoke, just don't smoke around my kids. I got people that dip, that just spit right there on the playground, right near the slides. I'm over it. I don't know what else to do except have the kids play at my house. And I like to use everything around Newport. So those are just 2 things I want to bring up. If you guys have any questions or you want to hear anything more, please feel free. I'll stay a little bit after.
Mr. Doctor, you sort of monitor.
Tim, is there signs that say it's a smoke or tobacco-free campus, or for lack of better terms?
It's the same as the firearm issue. It's an option that the council has to opt in or opt out. Firearms the same as smoke-free parks or facilities. So back when all this was a push, council sort of opted out not to address those issues, so they opted out.
You sort of monitor that for us and let us know, team.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for taking your time to come down here.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jensen.
We got anybody else that's got anything?
Coach, I do, before we get out of here, you're the one that sings all the praises all the time to people, and well deserved. I just want to say to you, I want to congratulate you on what happened, what honor was bestowed on you the other day at the Carson Springs. Coach, you care, and you've cared for a long time. You busted my butt when I was in high school, and probably should have busted it more, and I wish you didn't care that much then. But the fact of the matter is,
I'm glad that paddle retired.
yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, no more paddling in school.
Yeah.
But well deserved, and I just want to say thanks for doing what you do, Coach.
Thank you very much. I'm very humble for that honor, and that's very humble. Thanks everybody that was there. Appreciate it. Did I hear a motion that we adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Got a motion? Got a second?
Second.
Got 2 seconds? All in favor? Aye, we got it.